We enjoy being on Public Praise TV. If you want to follow us, you can go on our email, which is bookingvoicesofgrace@gmail.com.
You can also look us up on Facebook, Voices of Grace, and you can follow us on Twitter at voicesofgrace_. God bless you.
Yes, yes. We gotta go back, y'all. We're taking y'all back. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Do you remember the days when we used to be in worship? The days when we used to quench our thirst with the word and with seeking the kingdom came first. And when we used to look for the Sunday morning service, please tell me what's happening. Instead of moving forth, we moving backwards, we lacking. As Christians, we should really hold it down, but we slacking and sinking in sin while time's running thin. It's time to redirect ourselves and go back to the way it's supposed to be. Back to when we solve the problems on our knees, we going back to where we wouldn't compromise with where we going back to where we get convicted by the word. Yeah, Lord, back to your rules. After all, it's all about you. Back to the basics of the King and Jesus. We'll have royalty. Oh, yes, I'm going back. Oh, yeah. Remember we used to pray all night long. That's the praise and singing gospel song. Yeah, time was not an issue when we were in His presence. We would stay hours giving worship in His presence. Things have changed, only God remains the same. We got our blessings and forgot who made it rain. Whoever knows to do good and does it not is sin. With everything within me, I cry out and sing. I'm going back to the way it's supposed to be. Back to when we solve the problems on our knees. We're going back to when we wouldn't compromise the word. We're going back to when we get convicted by the word. Yeah, yeah, Lord, back to your rules. Back, 'cause after all, it's all about you. Yeah, back to the basics of the King and Jesus. We'll have royalty. Yeah. Yes, I'm going back. We have to return to the days when we worship and praise, and nothing would get in the way of our faith. Let's return to the fasting and praise. Christians, please don't delay. Please, before it's too late. Now let's go back to the way we're supposed to be. Back to when we saw the problems on our knees. Back to when we wouldn't compromise the word. Back to when we get convicted by the word. Back, Lord, back to your rules. Back, 'cause after all, it's all about you. Back to the basics of the King and Jesus. We'll have royalty. Yeah, back to the place where I received you. Back to the place where I believed you. Back to the basics of the King. Oh, back to where I need to be. Yeah, Lord, back to your rules. After all, it's all about you. Yeah, back to the basics of the King and Jesus. We'll have royalty. Back to the way it's supposed to be. Back to when we solve the problems on our knees. Yeah, we wouldn't compromise the word. No, we get convicted by the word. Yeah, Lord, back to your rules. After all, it's all about you. Yeah, back to the basics of the King and Jesus. We'll have royalty. Singing. Oh, yeah. Oh, in Jesus we'll have royalty.